Steve,
Yeah.
what's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, I'm doing good. What's up, everybody? Shane Island from Smoking Pipes here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Steve Saka, doing our annual catch-up.
I paid him for that.
Yes, yes. We have an annual catch-up on the last day of the trade show when it's nice and calm around here. That's when I like to do it. So what's up, man? How you been?
Busy.
Yeah, as usual.
Yeah,
As
behind.
usual. Yeah, as
Grumpy.
usual.
I got grumpy down to a science.
But what would you be without those three qualities?
Dude, it's my lifeblood.
It is.
Misery I embrace. Like the warm hug of my mother. If you knew my mother, you would know how true that is. Sorry, Mom. God rest your soul.
Yeah.
And my mom was hard. I had
yeah.
I had a hard mom.
So now you're hard on yourself. That's
yeah.
how it goes, I guess. You're smoking the Solita Red as well right now?
I actually am.
Yeah, man. This is actually my first taste because I was unfortunate. I was out of town when our shipment arrived, and I'm super excited to finally try it. The Cervantes Fino was my #1 smoke in your line for many years, and my stash will only last me so long. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to see this back.
Yeah, me too.
It's killer. It's killer.
It's a nice cigar.
It's a nice cigar. Great size. So far, I'm really digging the tweaks that you made to it, which I understand is basically a little more oomph, a little more
It's
strength.
a little more, but then I basically beat it out of it with an extra year of age, so I don't even know what I'm doing.
The extra year of age, I mean, the richness does come through. It smokes pretty close to the original Cervantes Fino
Yeah, I
that I
agree.
bought years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smokes pretty close.
No, it's that look. The Cervantes Fino was a great cigar that just nobody bought.
Yeah.
It got lost in the line, you know. Look,
I feel like the guys...
Well, Lonsdales aren't popular.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So, even if the cigar is great, retailers aren't going to stock it.
It's
because
a little bit of
slower
a
mover.
It's a nerd size.
Right.
It's a little bit of a...
So I saw the success I had with Sobre Mesa Brulee Blue,
Mm-hmm.
right? Having it as a standalone, different color band,
Yeah.
identifiable.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if Brulee Blue just had the standard band on it that all the other Brulees
It'd
have
be at
on
the
it,
bottom.
it'd be at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, the way it is. So this way, this cigar gets a consumer go, oh, you know what is that? Let me try that.
Yeah.
Right? So it gets a fair shake. It gets a try.
Totally.
You know, so, and oftentimes that's what makes the difference is, you know, you get somebody to try something, they can then decide if they like it or they don't like it. But if they don't try it, they don't even know whether they like it or they don't like
Yeah.
it. So, you know, so by doing the Solita Red, it gives that cigar the shot that it deserves. Now, I can't tell you that it's going to be as wildly successful as the Blue. That's
Sure.
there's no way to know that.
Sure.
But it's definitely worthy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in this way, it'll get a fair test.
Those two back, I mean, that's, for me, I could do a Blue in the morning and this in the evening and have that be my rotation. Really?
Really?
I mean, personally, yeah.
You say that bullshit to everybody that you got on this camera.
That is absolutely not true.
Oh.
We have the receipts.
Oh my God, I don't buy that at all.
Have I said that once this entire trip, cameraman?
Yeah. Hey, see here.
Gosh.
I'm gonna watch these videos now because I don't buy that.
Do
at all.
it, do it. I can also show you my customer sales data. I bought more of the Cervantes Fino than
Everybody else added together.
Yeah,
I know.
maybe.
I saw my sales numbers. You know, it's the same thing. Like I have Coronas in all my blends.
Yeah.
I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get retailers to buy them. I can't get them to stock them. They won't do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, somewhere in the future, I'm going to do, like I did last year with the Lanceros, I'm going to do a Corona collection.
Oh my God.
You know
I
what
would
I
love
mean?
that. Yeah.
Because I have all the work done.
Yeah.
And they were dumb enough to buy all the Lanceros last year, right? They were willing to buy it like that.
Yeah.
I think I actually may be able to sucker them into buying a Corona collection.
Corona collection would be amazing.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like when we started,
All 12 of us Corona fans out there are going to go crazy.
We had a Corona in Sobre Mesa,
Mm-hmm.
and it died before the Cervantes Fino died.
Uh-huh.
Right, because the retailers they won't put it on the shelf.
Right.
There's just not enough Corona consumers. But I think if you do a Corona collection for the people that like Coronas,
Totally.
then it's like a potpourri of joy in one little box.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So other new stuff, there's so much to talk about.
Oh, dude.
I am particularly excited about Stillwell Star Holiday 2025 because the format has changed this year.
Yeah, 5x48.
That's amazing.
Smaller format.
Yeah.
Blend is a bit different
Yeah.
because obviously it has to be different in that size.
Of course.
I think it smokes really, really well. It's, and the initial reaction from our our customers, not the patrons.
Sure.
Because who knows what they're going to think. They're not going to get to smoke it until, holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, oddly enough, the retailers seem like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Even though it's a smaller format.
Yeah.
I think just because it's a different change of pace, it's unique.
Sure.
They seem to be on board with it. So we'll see.
That's great. I'm excited. We've got the deep cut sampler also, which gorgeous. Love it. I love the little sort of peep window here. You want to give us a quick walkthrough of what's going on here? It's basically the entire line, but
no, what it
the deep
actually
cuts.
is, so I made this sampler, which is basically, hey, I've never smoked Dunbarton. I'm a young smoker.
Yeah.
Here are our 7 cores, a Toro bead.
And that's the essentials.
Kind of gives you a way to check. So if you haven't ever smoked Dunbarton, there's an easy way for you to get it all in one little place.
Nice.
And then what the deep cut is the deep cut is actually my 10 personal favorite cigars that I smoke.
Okay, yeah.
That's what the deep cut is. And it's the weirdest sampler ever because you've got, some people go, listen, how could that be his favorite? There's the brand new Red Meat Lovers Fritanga in there.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I know it's new to you.
It's not new to you.
Yeah, this was done a year and 3 months ago.
Right,
so
right.
this has become the #1 Red Meat Lovers that I smoke for me.
Yeah.
But it's got a bronze back in it. It's got a Papa Saka in it. It's got a Tricky Traka 648, which is a core line.
Yep.
It's got Fritanga. Naka Tamale is my favorite Molestra.
Yep.
It was the second one I made. We made what? We made the Now Leave Me Alone. We made the Unstolen Valor, the Witch, we made Krakatoa, and they're all great.
Yeah.
But the one I go back to is Naka Tamale. It's got one of the Solita Reds, the variation on Cervantes Fino. It's got the Brulee Blue. It's got Todos Las Dias Thick Lonsdale.
Yeah.
We don't sell it, but whenever I get low, I'm like, go ahead and make another 500
roll a few
for me to smoke.
Yeah.
And then it's got a Saka Con, and then it's got a Word of Saka, which is actually a cigar for next year.
Oh, cool.
So it's got one little thing in.
Amazing.
Most samplers are actually 3 cigars that aren't selling, one okay cigar, and then one carrot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then sell it at a discount to get it to go.
Right.
Every single cigar in the box, this is legitimately, right now, this is my personal rotation. If you want to know what does Steve Saka smoke, this is what Steve Saka smokes. Now, 3 years from now, well, there's a couple 3 cigars in here that wouldn't have been in this collection 3 years ago. And I guarantee you, 3 years in the future, this will probably change.
Yeah.
Because it really depends on what I'm really currently vibing on. And so it's a very interesting collection. And certainly don't give it away. It's simple. It's MSRP plus MSRP plus MSRP plus MSRP plus MSRP, because all these cigars in this box, look, I'm behind on Papa Saka. I'm behind on Solita Red. I finally caught up on Blue for the very first time ever.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I'm definitely behind on Bronze back.
Oh, yeah.
People bitch at me every day about Bronze back. But I'm going to get the Bronze back problem is easier to solve.
Yeah.
The Blue problem took 3 years.
Yeah.
Because it's the long lead time. It's that year of aging. So the Blue is a much more difficult thing to sort out, But it's a very interesting collection of cigars. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this.
No, I can't think so.
Well, Fuente does high-end Opus X samplers. Right. And Padron's done some high-end samplers. But I don't think they've ever had something where this is actually, A, these are my favorites, and B, there's a $8 cigar and there's a $29 cigar in the same sampler. It's a pretty weird thing.
I dig it though. It's a cool concept. It looks great. I'm excited to try the ones I haven't tried yet. What's the
other thing too I would say, if you're like a hardcore guy, I wouldn't start with the essentials. So if you're a guy who's been smoking 10, 15 years, the essentials are great.
Of course.
But honestly, if I were that guy and you were curious about Dunbarton, I would actually go this way.
Do this one.
Yeah, because this one, this is the next generation. Consumer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So actually, that's a nice segue into the new Red Meat Lovers. Tell us about the Fritanga.
It's pretty simple. It's Red Meat Lovers just made spicier.
Really?
Spicier, stronger. A little bit more oomph, a little bit more aggressive. So if you like Red Meat Lovers, but you wish there was a little bit more pepper, you wish there was a little more pop, well, then Fritanga will be the way to go.
So was Fritanga the conception of that? Is that based on feedback you got, or is that based on your personal taste?
Well, it's based on me.
Yeah.
I just
wanted to do it and liked it.
I'll tell you, Red Meat Lovers is good. but I would almost always rather smoke a Mi Querido personally.
Okay.
You know, I always find myself going back to a Mi Querido Ancho Largo or a Tricky Truck 648, which is one of the ones in this box, or a lot of Mi Querido Black, right? Mi Querido Black. So I wanted to give a little more pizzazz to the Red Meat Lovers blend.
Yeah.
You know, look, it won't be for everybody.
Sure.
For some people, it'll be I screwed it up. You know what I mean? But for that person that wants a little bit more bite, a little bit more pepper forward, a little less smoothness, you know, Fritanga will be a good one to try.
Excellent. And I mean, the belle of the ball. I am super curious about the 10th. Tell us about the 10th. I don't want to know details. It's probably, I don't know if you're being as transparent on that as you otherwise would.
I will be when it comes time to actually ship it and sell it.
Oh, okay, cool. It is a first in the sense of the wrapper used, though.
It's a first in everything.
It's a first in everything. Oh,
so,
great.
How long we got to talk?
As long as you got it.
So let me tell you how anniversary cigars are done. You take one of your fan favorites that you're really well known for.
Right.
And you do a variation on that.
New Vitola or
customer
something.
base.
Yeah.
So the second thing you do is you always make it, you know, in a sexy shape. Diademus, a Salomon.
Perfecto,
something that's extra sexy.
Yeah.
You put it in a beautiful box that, you know, you're marking the celebratory nature of the cigar.
Yeah.
And then because it's an anniversary cigar, you charge an awful lot of money for it because you can.
Right.
That's the basic formula for all anniversary cigars. So when I started thinking about doing a Dunbarton anniversary cigar, that was what originally I was going to do.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I started dwelling on it a bit. When I started Dunbarton 10 years ago, I did something that I wanted to do but wasn't very smart. So when I came to the first trade show, it was here in NOLA.
Yeah.
Everybody that came to Dunbarton, they were expecting Liga Privada 2.0.
Right.
It's what I was known for. That's what they were expecting.
Right.
And what I gave them was I gave them Sobra Mesa, medium-bodied, nuanced, elegant, refined kind of cigar.
Yeah.
Dollar-wise, I think I hurt myself. I think had I released Mi Querido first, my life would have been a hell of a lot easier. Okay, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, hey, I'm not a one-trick pony. I can do these other things.
Sure.
So I did Sobra Mesa.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought, you know what? Everybody expects me to do one of my fan favorites.
Right.
And just make it more fancy, better package, and more expensive. And I decided, no, you know what? I'm going to make a cigar out of 6 tobaccos I don't currently use in any cigar. I'm going to make a totally it doesn't taste like anything I have made in any way in the last 10 years. It's medium body, but it's back to Sobra Mesa.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste like a Sobra Mesa, but it's more that balance, nuance, really kind of creamy, rich, intricate. It's got like toffee. It's got like this graham cracker thing going on. But it's a nuanced kind of cigar.
Yeah.
So I already messed up number 1, the blend. So then number 2 is to make it in a beautiful size. And I did. I did a lot of tests and a whole bunch of really great, sexy sizes. The 48 ring gauge between 5.5 inches and 6 inches is what tasted the best.
Yeah.
That's what I liked the most.
Yeah.
So I made all the fancy sizes, and they were good.
Yeah.
They've been fine.
Yeah.
Right? But I kept going back, man, I really like this 5 5/8 by 48.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm already going out on a limb on the blend.
Sure.
Why don't I go out on a limb on the size too? Why not? And then it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I screwed up the first 2 things that I'm supposed to do. I made a beautiful package.
Yeah.
But it's very
modest.
understated. It's very modest.
Yeah.
It's very.
I think it's gorgeous, though.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
But does this look like an anniversary cigar?
No, but I find that refreshing, probably in the same way that you've sort of, it sounds like a lot of these details sort of picked you more or less, that it happened naturally that way. And I gotta say, as a consumer, I appreciate the beautiful packaging that other people do. Where the hell am I gonna put this? Like, you know what I mean? Most of us don't have a walk-in humidor to store this kind of stuff in.
So
like,
even though
I've got a couple of coolers.
Even though I messed up the blend and I messed up the size and I didn't really put it in a super elaborate package, I could still get away with this being a $40 cigar. It's the 10th anniversary, right? But I decided that, if I'm doing it this way, let me just price it exactly the same way we price everything. 40% gross margin. This is what it costs for me to make. I add 40 points. That nets the company at the end of the year, hopefully, if I do my job right, 7-8 points in profit. So it's priced exactly the way every other cigar that we have is priced, which ends up making it not cheap, but it ends up making it like an $18.50 cigar. So
very accessible.
Very unusual when you're, I have plenty of just like core cigars. Muestras cost more. So Sin Compromiso, some of them cost more. Not Papa Saka, but Saka costs more. Unicorns cost a lot more. You know what I mean? So I basically did everything I shouldn't do for an anniversary cigar. So we'll see. Either the market will punish me or they'll reward me, but it seems right, because when I started the company 10 years ago, I went a way that nobody expected me to do it. So you know what? What better way to mark the 10th anniversary than to do the exact same thing again. Even if it sells less, even though I end up leaving a few $100,000, maybe $1 million on the table, all right, so be it. But this is a good reflection of who we are.
Who you are.
So I'm very excited by it. We'll see.
I'm excited by it too. I think we're not going to be alone. I'm sure about that.
Well, yeah, but you like Cervantes Fino.
I do.
Right. So I think you're going to be golden. But look, I got Fritanga. I got Canalam coming out later in the year. The word of Saka is a barn burner. If you want to melt your face. I got plenty of those. You know what I mean? So there's something there for those guys too, right?
Sure.
We got the bronze back Robusto. Right? It's bronze back, just a little bigger. So it's not like I totally ignored those people that love my heavier, more aggressive blends.
But the anniversary is a celebration of, it's for you. We're going to take part in it as consumers for sure, but I like that you went with your gut and your instincts and sort of eschewed the expectations. So what can you tell us about the tobaccos? You said it's 5 tobaccos you've never worked with.
It's an Ecuador Sumatran dark wrapper.
Very interesting.
I've only used the Ecuador Sumatran on that limited fiddlehead I did. I'm using a Mexicano San Andreas, a Claro, real thin grade on the binder. I normally use my standard Cultivo Tanto prop that we use on Sin Compromiso. This isn't. And then it's 4 Nicaraguan fillers, 1 from each of the primary growing regions, Jalapa, Esteli, Condega, and Ometepe. And I use all those tobaccos all the time. But these are from 4 farmers that I have never, ever used their tobacco. So it's Finca specific. So it's a totally new grounds up blend. So it's
amazing.
Well, maybe. It's different. Amazing will be decided when people get to smoke it. It's definitely different.
So using all of those different tobaccos that you haven't used previously, or the Sumatran wrapper you've only used once, was the blending process more tedious for you? Did it come together pretty easy?
It was more fun.
More fun. That counts for a lot.
It was more fun because, dude, I can whip together a broadleaf cigar in an hour.
Right.
And just shove it in a box. I've done so many of them over the years. It's kind of like the chef that makes this particular dish all the time. So this is
muscle memory at a certain point.
I don't want to say it was more challenging.
Okay,
but it was more a sense of discovery for me. Just like the original Sober Mesa was. Because it was a deviation from so many of the blends I had done before. So this was kind of going back down that road. So
very exciting.
Maybe it's more than it being an anniversary. Maybe it's a testimony. I don't know. Man, that was a good name. Why didn't I use testimony? I already used I even decided I'm going to call it the Jubilee instead of the anniversary. Because everybody calls it anniversary.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to own the Queen of royalty, but I'll deal with it. She's dead. Right? The Queen's gone. Charles, come after me. But I think that Jubilee is the 50th. It's
50th, I think, usually.
Well, we had the 10th Jubilee, damn it.
Yeah, why not? Steve, thank you so much for the time.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations on 10 years, and thank you for making stuff that we all enjoy smoking so much. And I can't wait to get into all this new stuff.
Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
Always.